All right, so basically, there's a game that a boss guy where I work told me about called the Finals, and actually doesn't look bad. Yeah, but the Finals seems like it's going to be a pretty good competitive shooter game because he just stopped the open beta. It's kind of bullet spongy though. Like people have a lot of health. It's like a mixture of like Halo, Battlefield, and like Apex or something. It's like some of this stuff, even though it kind of looks rough, like this fan head looks a little rough. I think it's just kind of how it's supposed to be. But the game itself looks like it's going to be pretty good. It might get me back into competitive shooters. Fully destructible environment, three teams of three. From what I've seen so far, though, people's strategies on this stuff is very basic. Like I was watching some people playing the beta test though, and essentially players were using auto turrets. They started using auto turrets, and these people were complaining about it, but they didn't have any heavies or anything on their team or anything like that. But like as far as I can understand, a heavy player with like grenades and stuff could just demolish a building. So like if people set up defensive auto turrets, you can just destroy the building. So I think it'd just be better just destroy all the buildings. You run full heavy teams, you destroy every building in the area. Just flatten it. This is what I'm confused about because stuff like this, where they're running around passing this box to get it to the point, I haven't seen that anywhere. Because in the beta test, people were basically just on the points, and one of them was camping, and the other one was like attacking them. There wasn't this race where people were running around like this with a box. So I think that's a little, something that's kind of disappointing, but maybe, it can fix is there's no one really using really intensive strategies like that. They're just fighting each other. It's just kind of like COD. All the people are just fighting each other. I didn't see anyone set up traps around their zone, like explosive traps or anything. So like in a sense, this game kind of has Rainbow Six Siege in it too, like Rainbow Six Siege destructible walls, C4s and stuff like that. I don't know how many C4s you can get, but there's a bunch of throwable items and stuff, and C4s and grenades and everything else that you could completely rig up full sections of the map to just collapse. Um, but people don't do it so far that we've seen in the beta, and I think is probably how you should play the game. So like there's a box that you have to like dump money into. Well, then you can just rig up that room with C4. If people try to go get the box, you detonate the room and collapse the whole room on top of that player. I think it'd be like the best way to go about it. But then if it's a heavy player, they can probably bust through. Hmm. The one thing I've seen that I don't necessarily like about this game, though, is it seems like you only get one weapon. So whatever weapon you come into the game with is what you keep. So for the heavies, for example, some of them have sledgehammers and stuff, which lets you destroy like buildings and parts like constantly. but then you don't get access to a gun, which I think is like a huge disadvantage. Because people with guns, they're eventually just going to out-kite you and outmaneuver you, especially since they have heavy, medium, and light classes. Like the medium classes are able to see through walls and stuff, but I don't think bullet physics go through walls in this game, which that's kind of something I was a little disappointed with, because like the LMG, if it could go through walls, would be crazy. But the heavy class just has like shields and things like that. They're thick, which is fine, I guess. But these light classes have a ton of mobility. They can jump in the air and then like completely change directions with these dashes and stuff. And they have these sprints and grappling hooks and all kinds of bull that lets them have a bunch of mobility options, which honestly I think that's the class everyone's going to play because like if the heavy can't keep up with the light, then the light can just run off and heal and come back. And then if these guys can't outmaneuver these guys, they're just going to be so much harder to hit with gunshots that they're probably going to win trades. There's just a lot of weird stuff like that. So like stuff like that, this heavy guy just running around the corner. Like imagine you just like even if there's desync or something, like you just miss, then that guy's running off and you can't shoot him. Like you're gonna have to try and chase him down. And if there's no way to do that, then you're just gonna have problems. But also, from what we've seen too, is that during the beta test, there's people that were getting a ton of kills, but they were losing because actually the money is all that really matters, like these boxes and stuff. So really, you should be playing around these boxes, and people should be fighting over them, but they're not. Because you'll have like players that go and grab a box, and then they go to the depot, um, which I feel like what players should do is grab one of these boxes and then rush somewhere else and grab multiple boxes and try to deposit them at the same time, perhaps. Or if I haven't seen anyone try to pick up one of the depot boxes and say steal it or connect this or run around with the boxes. Like everyone sets in camps with the box, but I think it'd be interesting if you had like the depot box and you've stuck this box inside of it and you're running around with it, or two of your players are trying to steal a depot and one of you pick it up and the other one's sitting there trying to like complete it, while you're running. So like stuff like that, the foam around the box, that's something you don't really see. I don't think I saw anyone with the foam gun. See, this is my if the buildings don't despawn too, then you could put the box inside of this. You could do what they did where they sealed it up with foam or whatever, but destroying the building and collapsing it on top of that box means that the other team are going to have to like destroy building parts to get in. Like they're going to need a heavy to get in. And then they're going to have to search a whole like rubble to find it. And then if it doesn't tell you where the box location is, like they might just run past it if it's covered with foam. And that frees you up to go and do something else on the map. I'm not sure how I feel about how spongy the people are though, because like they have very big health pools, and then the heavy class has like really really big shields or something that they can use that block bullets and allow you to shoot through it or something. But then you have what you call it, something else that I'm thinking of. I can't think of correctly right now. But yeah, I think I'll play that game when it comes out. I'll get back into it. Shooters. I don't think I have anybody that would play it with me though. But we'll see.